Yo YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back, and today I'm happy to announce that we are recording for episode 5 of SNAPShot. Now, today we're going to take a different approach. So, on previous episodes of SNAPShot, on episode 1 to 4, we have enrolled out on a scenario, whether it's been movement and strafing, whether it's been using the map to your advantage, whether it's been looking at different styles of the way that the game is played and using different things to your advantage as well. Rather than that, we're going to be actually looking at a type of playstyle today in terms of the way that I like to play in streams and the way that a lot of people also would like to learn better on how to play it, and that is the SMG flanker role. And what I mean by the SMG flanker role is somebody who's really aggressive, somebody who makes it really annoying for the enemy team to be able to push the objective. There is a reason that we are on a 600 and something win streak right now, and that's because everybody knows their role within the team and people know what it is that they're doing. My role in particular, and a role that I love to play, and a role that I've always played in Call of Duty, is the SMG flanker. As somebody who likes to flank opponents, somebody who picks routes around the objectives to get behind enemy opponents, to invade spawns, to make it annoying for people like snipers and assault rifle players who are looking across the map and don't see me coming from the side. I can pick them off, I can clear that space out, and I can make it easy for our team to hold the objective for longer. Alright, today the way that we're going to do it is I'm going to show you 6 clips, so you're going to have 5 clips plus 1 bonus feature clip. We're going to use an E pen for reference. I'm going to use a red colored highlighter to highlight the plays that I'm making, show you guys the situation in every single one of the clips and why it is that I do the things that I do. Again, this is going to be based around the SMG flanker role, and to you guys who do play with the SMGs or do play aggressively, if you're wondering about routes to take, if you're wondering how to take your SMG gameplay to the next level, I hope that this video can help you today. Alright, let's root into the SNAPShot screen and let's start analyzing clip number 1. So this is the first clip. We're going to run each clip with no audio and at 0.25 speed so you can see how everything goes. Once again, I've got 5 clips plus 1 bonus clip for you guys as well to see, and I'm going to be using this red pen, as you can see here by the writing, for reference on what we're going to do and what we're going to be explaining on each one. So again, we normally, for SNAPShot videos, we've referenced other things in terms of like movement, strafing, you know, equipment to hide behind and whatnot, and how to use the map for your advantage. This is going to be more based around the gun and my actual knowledge and play style to how I play each map. So beginning off, we're going to still start with a scenario in each round. Right here we're playing hardpoint on Shoot House, and most of the clips are going to be based on Shoot House because obviously Shoot House has been the 24/7 map for the week. There may be a few others, but we'll see how the clips roll out later today. Alright, so we've got hardpoint here. Hardpoint is not currently taken right now. I have my teams spawning back behind me on the C point objective, and I'm pushing towards the A point objective. As an SMG flanker role, there's several ways that you could go about doing this, right? If you're going to go back and help your team out, or just push through the middle, or even push through here, you can open yourself up to either attacks from people that usually are sitting at the wall, people that are probably in this other side up here, or you can make the decision as the one that I probably end up doing here, and that's pushing around this left-hand side and watching what's going on here. I'm currently in the process of checking top red, which is these cranes here, making sure there's nobody up here as I'm sprinting up away from my spawn. And I want to be playing the role of the annoying flanker, somebody that the enemy has to be watching out for and dealing with, whilst also trying to go for the point as well. So as you can see, I have just watched top red, right, and I'm trying to get control of this area. So straight away, if you're looking at the map, and something that I've suggested in previous episodes, with how important the map is, I can see here that the enemy has control of the point, right? I want to stop any reinforcements coming in from behind, or take out any snipers or assault rifle players who are sitting on the back wall and potentially trying to cover their teammates at the point. I need to play the role of getting behind the enemy team, taking them out, and trying to gain some or establish some control for us. We have a massive lead in this game, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't even be pushing even further. Alright, so as I'm pushing across, I take out this first enemy. Now already, look what I've done here, right? There were 2 people sitting on this wall, right? And 1 guy here, which means, as you can see in the point now, we now have the objective control. Because I've made this push up here, I've now diverted these guys' attention away from the wall and away from the point to have to look and deal with me. Because if they don't deal with me, I'll deal with them. Simple as that. Alright, so they're no longer now dealing with the point, they're now dealing with me, and I am now an issue and a problem. I've taken out the first guy, and, you know, not analysing the play too much, for whatever reason, one of the guys moved towards the left, so he's actually ended up splitting the play into a 1v1v1. Alright, so as you can see here, I've taken out the first guy. Rather than trying to take out both of these guys at the same time, I put myself at an angle behind this pillar, and this pillar has been featured in many of clips to you know, push myself away from one of the enemy players and just deal with a 1v1. Now, I know this guy's going to push from this side because he's not going to be pushing from the other side because I've just killed his teammate. And I'm already pre-firing, waiting for him to come around that corner, which he does, and I end up taking him out. So I've now took this left flank, and I've dealt with 3 players who were previously either pushing towards the point or holding from the wall. All right, so I'm now in a power position to get even further forward and push for this flank. This whole entire time, I'm checking my radar, and I can see right here, if you look right there, you can see 2 enemies. Enemies are probably moving down this way, or they'll come back because they know where I am and they're trying to deal with me. Either way, whichever way they go, they're in a lot of trouble, because if they push forward, I'm just going to pincer from behind them. If they come or come back, they're going to have to deal with me, and they're going to have to outshoot me first and foremost. All right, so just keep that in mind, in that my role here is so paramount to our team keeping hold of the point and me just being an absolute nuisance. All right, so I use this wall as cover, always going to be head glitching and whatnot, making sure I'm covering myself in the situation. Now, as I push forward, I am looking out to see if I can find any enemy teams. It doesn't look like any of them pushed back. And as I get a flick of the radar, I can see right here, them 2 enemies that we were just looking at are now going towards the point that's up in Scrapyard right now. I'm on an amazing flank here. They obviously haven't dealt with me still as a situation. They seem to have either completely ignored me or forgotten about me, that I was behind them. And now I can deal with them. So now I'm playing the flank role. I end up taking this first guy out who's pushing into the point, helping out my teammates to either keep control or try and neutralize the point. The second guy does get away rather than trying to reload, because I know he's going to come back out, because, you know, typical COD players, tries to challenge it, doesn't get the challenge win, and I end up getting the kill and taking full control of their spawn. Next point's already up, and we're already in the point, ready to go. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys this clip at full speed so you can see how fast it all plays out, and yeah, you guys can see what it looks like in real time. Okay, so this is what it looks like from in-game perspective. All right, so I'm clearing this idiot out, put a lot of pressure behind them. Now I'm in a full flanking position here. They don't deal with me, I'll deal with them. Either way, they're in a lot of trouble. Kill that first guy, weaken the second guy. Know he's weak, end up taking him out as well. GG's. That's a nice little 5-piece clip, and I've completely torn them out from their spawns and allowed our team to push into the spawn and push into the point and get as many points as possible. All right, next one, we are looking once again with the P90, which has been one of my favorite guns, by the way. I'm going to be recording later on for a P90 loadout, and this thing has been an absolute terror machine. It's been a pleasure getting this bad boy to Obsidian. I've really enjoyed using it. So we look at the situation. Once again, we're playing hardpoint on Shoot House. As you can see, the score in the bottom left-hand corner, we're absolutely slaying them. The game's almost over here. I have 4 teammates, or from what I can see on the radar, around 4 teammates, all in around the point before the game is over. And I'm pretty sure that I've just come from this right-hand side. And this whole area in front of me, as we like to refer as the quiet zone, or the dead space, is most likely where the enemies are going to be spawning, because I've just ran from the other side of the map and I know that they're not there. All right, so now I'm using this pillar in front of me. So if you really think about it, all the episodes that we've recorded from SNAPShot all kind of coming together for this, right? So I'm utilizing the radar to see what's going on here. I'm now utilizing these objectives and these, you know, spots on the map to stay hidden behind and to stay safe to make each individual play. So it's great to see that every single episode that we've recorded up until this point has some sort of feature in this, and it all comes together to show you guys the way that I play. Now that I'm on this flanking role, I'm using this box as cover. I know there are people here because I've obviously just seen them from the spawn. I take out one guy, push up for this second guy, don't manage to kill him. Once again, always using this pillar for reference and making sure that to get behind these boxes if I need cover. Now, as I've done that, I know their attention is still going to be on the hard point. They're going to be trying to looking to get into the point because this game's almost over here. All right, so I'm now pushing behind, slide, and then drop to the floor to try and change my elevation. These guys don't hit a single shot on me. End up killing both of them. And once again, I am behind the enemy team who all they want to do is either look towards the point or push towards the point. But they cannot do that because I'm in here on my own, pushing into their spawn and trying to flush them out constantly. That's my role on pretty much any map that I play, the role that I love to play. I just love being an absolute nuisance in the enemy spawn. So I've taken down 3 players here. Excuse me, no ammo left in my P90, so I've picked up this guy's M4. Now, during this process, if I was to take it back just a slight bit, I can see there are enemies spawning in this corner. All right, so the way that the spawns work on here, if you're like behind this pillar here, enemies can still spawn in this forward space, and they usually spawn in this little divot in here as well. Potentially could be up in the office. They do have the point at the moment, but I've got my teammates who can sort that. My job right now is to deal with these spawners and play the SMG flanker route. So as I can see these enemies spawning here, I don't want to challenge them with no bullets in my P90, and I certainly don't want to run at them with a Renetti. So I find this guy's M4. Use this wall for cover for a sec as I pick this M4 up. Know they're going to be there, so I jump out to deal with this guy. He tries to C4 me, doesn't kill me in time. Hit some nice shots. Straight snap into the second guy. Get some nice hits behind him as well. He manages to get behind the wall. And again, before I change or try to reload, I end up changing weapons instead to the Renetti, which unfortunately has been nerfed. It is not as strong now, but it's still pretty decent. With 2 bursts and a little bit of M4 damage, I've ended up killing this guy. And I'm just an absolute nuisance behind in their spawns right now. Now, if you look in the radar, you'll see that most of them are all spawning in this top left-hand corner. But if there are any enemies still here, or any enemies split spawning, because sometimes you can get spawn in one direction and in the other as well, I'm still here to deal with the situation before this game ends, to clear up any more kills. So as I clear this one up, I jump back out to see if anybody else is here. As I'm looking out, I'm firing, because I believe that I've seen somebody. I can see on the radar that somebody over there is in front of me. Take this guy out as well. And we end up flushing the enemy out every single time in their spawn, and there's nothing they can do about the situation. Once again, we've chosen the flanking route. We've stayed away from the objective in regards to the route that we've taken, because if I run straight through the middle, it's going to be obvious where I'm going to be going. I run down this quiet spot, establish a space of control for myself, and that leaves me with this whole area to clear out for spawns on my own, and where I can just push and just be an absolute nuisance to the enemy team. Let's run it in full speed so you guys can see exactly how it looks. Being an absolute nuisance in this spawn. My aim has been getting so much better as well recently. Pick up this M4, hit some sick shots, switching elevations at all times. Got my Renetti out, reload this M4. I've seen this last guy and deal with him as well. That's a 6-piece using 3 different guns on my own in the enemy spawn, because I've chosen the route, I've established control, and I've helped our team keep control of the point, because they can't deal with the point. They can't even get to the point because they're having to deal with me. Until I'm dead, they ain't getting out their own spawn. All right. So that's clip number 2. Next, we're moving into clip number 3. This is the Growl instead of the P90, but once again is on Shoot House. So you can see what's going on here. And this is pretty much a replica of the last clip, but just me on the other side of the map. All right. So rather than being on this left-hand side, running up here on the radar, if the radar did if the radar did come out that far and you could see the other side of the map, it's me running up this left-hand side. The point is in the middle. Nobody's on it because it's white right now. I've got my team moving up here, and I've got my team moving around the right-hand side here. I want to cover this left-hand side. I want to cover Scrapyard, and I also want to get back into their spawns. All right, so once again, I'm going to look to try and get around the objective and be a nuisance and get into their spawns. So as I move forward into this clip, I can see that the enemies have just taken the point. You know, the capture has just gone red. So that guy dies, and straight away, just by flicking my eye to the radar, I can see there's an enemy right here. He's right on the edge of the point. And I'm using this is where I always say that C4s come in handy. I don't even need to be peeking this guy. I can throw it straight over the wall to try and deal with him, because I know how far it goes. End up killing the guys on the edge of the objective. My teammate now takes the objective. So I'm making an impact on the objective without even being there. That's how great C4s are. Now, this is where I could have either chosen to have gone into the point if I really needed to cap the point for my team, but I see my teammates in there. I see he's got support coming in. I want to get around this backside. I want to cover this area here, and I just want to start slaying in spawns. This is exactly the same as the last clip, just flipped on the other side of the map. All right, that radar charge comes in, gives me a kind of, a sense of where enemy's going to be. This guy obviously is running Ghost, so he didn't come up on the radar. Catches me off guard a little bit, but I end up taking him out. Now, I'm trying to spot out them guys that are on the radar. I see 2 right here. All right, that guy gets away from me, and the guy who's on the wall ends up dying. In fact, they both died of the airstrike. So as I'm moving around to this left-hand side, I'm trying to peek out to see where these enemies are spawning and where they're going to be. Got to use this moment to reload my mags, because I've got a feeling I'm going to need them, and you're going to see exactly why in a sec. And of course, on the Growl, we run the 60-round mags. If you guys want to see the Growl class video, I do have it in my YouTube videos as well. It is called Featured Class Guides. It is episode 1, and it is my most viewed video. That is the Growl aggressive class. All right. So enemies are spawning. Once again, watch the radar. All right. Enemies are still spawning here right in front of me. I am in prime position right now to spawn cam, and these enemies have not seen me, or have not seen me yet in this situation. So as I've killed this first guy, straight away in my mind, I've been thinking about the second guy who appeared on the radar. I know what he's going to do. I know he's going to try and kill me. I've just killed his mate. So I take him out. Hit some nice elevation changes, take the second guy out as well. End up killing the third guy, and seeing a fourth guy spawn in front of me, so I'm on a quad kill at this point. Miss a few shots, which does end up costing me my life. Changes the Renate, which isn't as strong anymore, and even though I hit 2 of my burst pistols, is not enough to kill this guy. But look how much attention I have drawn to myself in this process. All right, now if we're watching this clip back at full speed, look how much attention I've drawn to myself, purely because I made the decision of not going into the point and deciding to go around and try and flank for the spawn instead, and play smart with my ammo and play smart with the objectives. All right, I'm using the pillar to cover myself over here when I'm reloading, because I know I'm going to need these bullets. All right, I'm watching the radar at all times, kill this guy, know this guy's here, move myself into a position to spawn camp, and man, what an absolute slaughter, right? I've now got the whole team trying to deal with me while my team's just sitting there chilling in the objective. It's absolute slaughter. Look at the kill feed, man. That kill feed is just absolutely stacked with my name in the ground right there. And it makes for some great plays as well. You know, enemy team just can't get out of their spawns. They're having to deal with spawn campers, and it makes for a sick clip as well. All right, so that's clip number 3. Clip number 4, we're back with a P90 on Shoot House. And again, we're looking at hardpoint and the situation that's going on here. I've got teammates behind me, I've got teammates backing me up. This area behind us right here is most likely going to be covered because of where my teammates are. I see all these dead spots, dead zones up here, which is most likely where the enemy's going to be coming from, and that's the area that I want to clear out, and the rank, you know, and the flank that I want to kind of cover as well. So straight away, this guy appears in front of me. Hit him with a nice jump shot. I went to drop just in case he didn't die there. Saw that guy peek to my left. Oh, sorry, to my right. He hasn't quite seen me because I think he's trying to shoot my teammate. I end up taking him out. Now the situation here, I could have jumped over this wall, or I could have pushed left to help my teammates here. All right. See that the enemies are trying to contend us for the point, but they end up dying. So I don't need to worry too much about pushing behind me. I dropped my dead silence on to cover my footsteps. Have to double reload. I believe this is my first game with the P90, so I wasn't used to the reload time because I'm not running sleight of hand. But hit the reload again so I get my mags back. Push it with my teammate Alchemist, who does fall to the enemies who are spawning around this corner from me. All right, so once again, this move up to this rock, I made myself as low as possible. This slide here stops that guy from hitting me as I'm coming across. Changing elevations, hitting my shots, and end up killing both of these guys as well. Now, at this point, we've established control on this whole side of the map. That was quiet. I got a teammate running up here. I've got teammates in the point. Now, unless they're running down at Scrapyard, they're going to be across here somewhere. They're going to be on this left-hand side. I want to move into this middle bit and then cover in the left. I'm looking just to pretty much cover all quiet spots in the map that haven't already been covered, all right? So now I'm going to push down the middle, and I'm going to see what control I can gain on this left-hand side towards Scrapyard. And you'll see how this one plays out. It ends up being an absolutely nutty clip. And once again, this was my first game using the P90 again since I got it to gold. And man, this gun has become one of my favorite guns in the game. It's so good. So this guy's got the advantage of me because I'm climbing, and because of that jump, he ends up missing some of his shots, and I end up killing him again. Now, during that process, I've seen enemies spawning here. Sorry, forget that one, but I've seen enemies spawning here. I just saw it on the radar, and I'm being a nuisance once again. These guys cannot get towards my team until they deal with me. I'm either flanking or I'm making really aggressive SMG plays to make the enemies deal with me. As you can see here, I've just seen 3 people all spawn in front of me. Unfortunately, I have to reload. And that's one of the only things with the P90s. You only get obviously the 50 round mags. You can't change it or add to the 60 or get 100 round mags or anything like that. But 50 rounds is pretty good for an SMG. End up taking this guy out who's in front, and no, I'm not going to survive to kill any more because I'm running out of bullets here. Potentially could have taken that one with 2 shots left, but I ain't going to risk it. Switch to my Renetti and try and make a last-ditch effort. I'm a bit of a playmaker. I always want to make the play. So I can either try and get into wood, survive and pick up another gun, or could push across to me here and try and see if I can like kind of snipe anyone across the map using the Renetti. And you know which one we're going to take, right? We take the Renetti play. Jump across, and I end up hitting a nice snipe shot as I'm jumping across. Unfortunately, I get wall banged as I'm going across that there, but it ends up being an absolutely insane clip overall. Now, running this into full speed, you can see once again that I've played this flanking route. All right, so here's the point. I'm moving up this left-hand side, and this whole quiet spot up here is the area that I want to clear at. And I just become an absolute nuisance. The enemy team just cannot deal with me at this point, all right? And this is what it looks like in full speed. Excuse me. So we move to this left side, gain control of this area, get that reload in, cover my head here so I don't get headshotted, take these guys out with some nice shots. I see my team still got the point, checking the radar. See this guy appear here. And then see the enemy spawning right here in front of me. I'm always thinking about the plays here. I'm thinking, how many enemies can I take out here before I die? End up being a nice 6-piece, absolutely amazing play, and just a position for the enemies to not be able to deal with. And honestly, guys, if you are an SMG player and you start thinking about flanking routes and you start thinking about getting behind the enemy, don't just always go, straight through the middle. Don't just always go. Being objective play is obviously very important, but if you can get into this role of being the flanker and somebody who flushes out campers, because a lot of people complain about campers, the problem is most people don't know how to deal with them. All right, using stuff like dead silence, playing the SMG role, making quick, snappy guns, deal with them very, very effectively. Okay, so with hardpoint on shoot house, once again, I'm moving down this right hand side, and you've seen the theme that's going on here, right? Look at this, all this empty space. Right, there's nothing on the radar here. It's most likely this is where the enemy team is spawning. Right now, I've just come through this cave from behind me. I can see here, deal with this first guy, and I've got this pillar that's right in front of me. All right, so as I'm shooting at this guy, I peek out, end up killing him with my last bullet that I fire, which is pretty lucky. See this guy on the wall, the usual people that are either sitting on them walls, deal with that idiot. Right, straight away, one guy spawned right in front of me. Right, and now as I'm shooting him, one enemy has appeared to this right hand side. Now the risk I've got here is I can either fully tunnel into this guy who's right here and probably risk dying to this guy, or I can step back behind this crate if needed and look at playing the situation different. And that's the difference between good players and great players, is I know I'm not going to be able to deal with this right now. As I'm shooting at this guy, I'm thinking, I don't want to risk my life here. I'm running out of ammo. Let's get behind this crane, or behind these boxes. So I don't know why I have this session, we'll call them cranes. And reload my gun. And now I've minimized the gap of where this guy can shoot me. I know he's going to eventually peek at me. His teammate ends up running out. Take him out. And then I'm always remembering the guy who was shooting at me first, and I end up killing him as well. So as I've dealt with that guy, I've not forgotten about the guy who was first dealing with me. Now this entire time, I'm thinking enemies are all going to be spawning down this left-hand side to me, because again, it's the quiet spot. It's the zone where nobody is. And I don't have any teammates backing me up here. I'm doing this all on my own. I'm solo spawn killing in pretty much every single one of these clips. And again, this is what makes a really effective player. This guy has no idea what's going on, and by the time he realizes it's too late, he ends up dying. I use this wall to get into cover, switch to my Renetti. This guy's trying to kill me with some sort of C4. Doesn't matter. I hit some nice Renetti shots. 3 bursts, take him out. So at this point, I'm on a quad kill. Switch back out to my growl. These guys are trying to take me out with C4s, but the problem is that they can't work out where I am because I keep moving. Changing my elevation. Take this guy out. Unfortunately, this guy does hit me from the wall. I can't turn on him in time. But man, what a clip that ends up being. Right, let's watch that in full speed. All right, so that flanking route, once again, down this right-hand side, absolutely devastating. Using these boxes to my cover, using that wall around this left-hand side, playing my life effectively and dealing with these enemies who are in front of me, and just honestly thinking about the situation ends up making this whole clip what it is. All right, so in full speed, killed the first guy, killed second. This guy appears, don't want to die because I'm running out of bullets. You know, I'm thinking about so many things here at once. Kill this guy, don't forget about the first one. Come out here, kill him. See that enemy appearing, run to my Renetti, switching elevation, switching points at all times. They just can't deal with me right now, and it takes literally 7, it must be 7 or so spawns to deal with me and take me out, which as an SMG flanker, and your team is just stacking objective points at this point, is exactly what you want to be doing, and exactly a great way of using your role as well. Now we're going to be using the bonus clip, and this is probably my favorite clip right now. Once again, we're doing hardpoint on shoot house, but the same rules apply on every single map. You know, look for these quiet spaces. Look for the area where there's nobody. Look at where your teammates are all positioned. You can see that they're all covering behind me. I can see that the hard point is taken. You know, let's get into the enemy spawn. Let's flush around this, this right-hand side. Let's get into the spawn. They're most likely gonna be back there if they're not already in this top office. Okay, and if they are in the top office, I can just go around behind anyway and get up behind them and deal as a flanker anyway. All right, so this clip is absolutely insane. Shots are coming across. Kill this guy. And while my teammates are dealing with the guys who are in spawn, I know my role here is to do exactly what I do best. And that is get into the enemy spawn. This game has literally just started, as you can see by the 2-0 in the bottom left corner. And I'm pushing in to gain control from my team. So this guy who I just killed knows where I am, tries to kill me. I end up killing him and his teammate from the elevation changes. Can't hit enough shots on me to kill me. And as you probably know by the spawning patterns right now, they're most likely going to be to the left of me. I'm using this wall to give me cover. Unless I get C4'd over this wall or wall bang, there's no way they're killing me here. I'm getting my health back slowly from quick fix. This guy's coming back for me. Dr. Pepper, and there's right next to him is the guy who I killed already twice over. This guy's dead, who's just spawned here. I know where these enemies are. I'm using that crane here to my advantage. Kill the guy for the 3rd time who's trying to beat me. This guy must be absolutely fuming with me by now. And then this guy ends up getting taken out from somebody on my team across the map. Now at this point, I know we're absolutely slaying. And I get the reloading and not finished here yet. This is with the MP7. I'm sorry if I said it was the Growl. They all look the same when they're in Obsidian. But yeah, this is the MP7. In their spawns. Still seeing more people running across on this right-hand side. Or my right-hand side. Do not want to let them out. I want to keep them pinned in as long as possible. Make it really annoying. Make it so they have to deal with me. Or do something to deal with me. See that guy up here to my right? Look at the snapshots, man. And we end up taking him out as well. This must have been like a 7-8 piece Growl. Or MP7 clip, sorry. And you can see the absolute devastation if you can just get behind enemies' teams and enemy spawns. You can see the SMG flanker roll, what it can do, and just how insane you can make it look as well. You can just be in the enemy spawns, frustrating players, like they can't even move right now. Just look at this, man. My aiming has become so much better recently. I'm so happy with it. And like they just can't get out. They just cannot get out. They are pinned. Meanwhile, my team are just collecting spawn points, hard points, and just winning the game just because they can't move, you know. And it's just about knowing about, you know, how to exploit these quiet areas. It's about knowing the routes to take. It's not about just following the rest of your team and splitting off sometimes from the rest of your team to cover the area that isn't covered and getting into the enemy spawn so they cannot move and they cannot deal with you or the situation that's going on. All right, so that was the 5 clips plus the 1 bonus clip, which we absolutely popped off on. We're going to take it back to the face cam right now. And I hope that gave you guys enough detail into why I play the way that I do, you know. So with the other snapshot episodes, we've spoken about strafing, we've spoken about movement, we've spoken about using objects to hide behind and different pieces of the map to protect you. But we haven't really spoken about the flanking routes or why it is I move around the map the way that I do. And now you can see it right here, ladies and gents, all right? You can see why I take the routes that I do. I utilize, and by knowing where the enemies are going to spawn from the quiet spots in the map, I take the initiative as an SMG player to get in them spawns and make myself as annoying as possible. Because if the enemies are trying to deal with me rather than trying to deal with the objective, we just get free wins. And that is absolutely paramount to help your team stack up on the objective and stack up them points, and in the long run stack up them wins as well. All right, thank you guys all so much for watching today's episode of Snapshot. If you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all of your support. Any positive or constructive feedback, please post it below. It really helps us, you know, grow the channel and support the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.